The history of the Pilgrims and their journey to America is a foundational story in American history, often intertwined with the broader narrative of colonial settlement. The Pilgrims were a group of English separatists, a faction of Puritans who believed that the Church of England was too corrupt to reform from within and thus sought to break away entirely. They aimed for religious freedom and the right to practice their faith without interference. Before heading to America, some separatists moved to the Netherlands around 1608, settling in Leiden. While they enjoyed religious tolerance there, they faced economic hardships and cultural assimilation challenges. They worried about their children adopting Dutch customs and losing their English identity. In 1620, these separatists, along with others seeking economic opportunity, secured a land patent from the London Virginia Company. They set sail on the Mayflower, a small ship of about 180 tons, from Plymouth, England, on September 6, 1620. The voyage was harsh, with 102 passengers cramped in a small space, facing storms and sickness. The trip took about 2 months. Arrival and settlement Cape Cod. They initially aimed for the Hudson River area, part of the Virginia Company's territory, but ended up landing at Cape Cod in what is now Massachusetts due to navigational challenges and storm damage to their ship. Before disembarking, the leaders realized they needed a form of self-governance since they were outside the jurisdiction of the Virginia Company. They drafted the Mayflower Compact, which established a civil body politic, essentially a social contract among the settlers for self-governance. This document is often seen as a precursor to democratic governance in America. On December 21, 1620, they established Plymouth Colony. The first winter was devastating. Nearly half of the settlers died from disease, malnutrition, and the harsh conditions. Assistance from natives. The Pilgrims were fortunate to meet Squanto, Tisquantum, a Patuxet man who had been kidnapped by English explorers, sold into slavery in Spain, and eventually made his way back to America. He spoke English and helped broker peace with the local Wampanoag tribe, teaching the settlers how to cultivate corn, extract sap from maple trees, catch fish, and avoid poisonous plants. In the fall of 1621, after a successful harvest, the Pilgrims and Wampanoag held a feast, now mythologized as the First Thanksgiving. It was more of a diplomatic event than a religious celebration. Over the years, the colony grew with more immigrants. Plymouth Colony existed for over 70 years before merging with the Massachusetts Bay Colony in 1691. The Pilgrim story embodies themes of religious freedom, self-governance, and survival against odds. While the term Pilgrim wasn't used by them to describe themselves initially, it has come to symbolize those seeking freedom to practice their faith, and more broadly, the enduring human spirit of exploration and resilience. The Pilgrim's narrative, though often romanticized, underscores the complex beginnings of European settlement in North America, involving both cooperation and conflict with Native Americans, and sets the stage for the broader colonial history of the United States. Here's a 5-question quiz based on the provided text. Who were the separatists and why did they leave England initially? A. A group of Puritans seeking economic opportunities in the New World. B. English Catholics fleeing persecution. C. A faction of Puritans who wanted to reform the Church of England from within. D. A group of Puritans who believed the Church of England was too corrupt and sought to practice their faith freely. What was significant about the Mayflower Compact? A. It was the first treaty between the Pilgrims and the Native Americans. B. It established a civil body politic for self-governance among the settlers. C. It was a land agreement with the Virginia Company. D. It declared independence from England. Why did the Pilgrims end up landing at Cape Cod instead of their intended destination? A. They chose Cape Cod for its strategic location. B. Due to navigational issues and storm damage to their ship. C. They were forced there by the Native Americans. D. They ran out of supplies and had to land sooner. What role did Squanto play in the survival of the Plymouth colony? A. He taught them how to build stronger fortifications. B. He helped broker peace with the Wampanoag and taught survival skills. C. He provided them with weapons. D. He led them to new, unexplored territories. What does the First Thanksgiving primarily represent in historical context? A. A religious celebration of the Pilgrims' faith. B. A diplomatic event between the Pilgrims and Wampanoag following a successful harvest. C. The official founding of Plymouth Colony. D. An annual feast mandated by the colonial government. These questions test understanding of key motivations, significant documents, geographic misadventures, intercultural relations, and the nature of early colonial celebrations, all central to the narrative of the Pilgrims' journey and settlement.